House Republicans tonight passed a budget resolution that will violate Donald Trump's campaign promises and will violate a promise that he just made last week. It was a week ago that Donald Trump said this about not cutting Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid.
Social Security won't be touched, other than if there's fraud or something. We're going to find it's going to be strengthened, but won't be touched. Medicare, Medicaid, none of that stuff is going to be touched.
None of it's going to be touched. But tonight, with Donald Trump's approval, the House of Representatives passed a budget resolution that will require the biggest Medicaid cuts in history.
House Republicans had a clear choice today. They could choose the American people, or they could choose far-right extremism. And when the choice was in front of them on the House floor, House Republicans chose Donald Trump, they chose Elon Musk, and they chose their billionaire puppet masters over the American people. The House Republican budget resolution will set in motion the largest Medicaid cut in American history. It's outrageous.
$880 billion in Medicaid cuts is now the official position of the Republican House of Representatives, with every Democrat in the House voting against cutting Medicaid. Massive cuts to the federal share of Medicaid mean that millions of people are likely to lose their Medicaid coverage in many states. And in the same budget resolution that will cut health care for the poorest people in America and for the working poor, the richest people in America will profit from massive tax cuts paid for in part by the cuts to Medicaid. Donald Trump is running an administration of billionaires where the most powerful person appears to be not the president, but the much richer Elon Musk, the richest person in the world, who will benefit in every possible way from the Republican budget resolution that takes health care away from poor people and the working poor so that Elon Musk can be richer. Elon Musk, in what appears to be an illegal incursion into the government of the United States, which has been blocked, that incursion has been blocked in some ways by judges across the country, is determined to destroy completely some government agencies, including the United States Agency for International Development. The richest person in the world apparently hates the agency that delivers life-saving medicine to the poorest people in the world, to the poorest babies in the world, the same agency that delivers food to starving children. Food for starving babies. Elon Musk is opposed to that, says he wants to completely destroy all of that. He says it's a criminal organization, that feeding starving babies, feeding people in a famine is a criminal organization. He's opposed to every ounce of food delivered to every starving child or starving adult anywhere in the world. He is as perversely and fully opposed to consumer protections for you. Before she was elected to the United States Senate, Elizabeth Warren created the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau during the Obama administration. It was the first government agency in the country dedicated to the active protection of consumers, the active protection of all of us, protection against businesses trying to harm us financially or in other ways. Elon Musk is opposed to you being protected against any companies anywhere that are determined to exploit you in any way they can. As the top Democrat on the Senate Banking Committee today, Senator Warren convened what Democrats are calling a shadow hearing about what Elon Musk is trying to do to kill the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Only the majority party in the Senate or the House can schedule an official hearing. So what the Democrats, led by Senator Warren, did today, in many ways looks like a Senate hearing. They had it in a hearing room, but it is not an official Senate hearing, which really only means that the testimony delivered at the hearing will not become part of the congressional record. But because it was a legitimate attempt to get at the real truth of what Elon Musk is doing, it was more important than any official hearing Republicans have held in the Senate this year.
Our focus today will be on what could be one of the biggest cons in American history, the theft of billions of dollars from American consumers. Elon Musk and Donald Trump are going all out to try to kill the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau and make it easier to cheat people out of their hard-earned money.
It's about getting away with theft. That's what it's about. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau exists to protect you from being cheated. And Elon Musk wants to make sure that you can be cheated in every possible way.
Elon Musk wants to offer a new X Money feature on his social media platform. But some other apps are already out there, and Musk would have to compete against them. By seizing control of the agency, Musk can now root through all of the CFPB's confidential data that DOJ has accessed on these potential competitors. As Musk launches his new app, he faces oversight from the CFPB. His plan seems to be to eliminate the watchdog, which would leave him free to scam and steal however he wants. And that is why I invited Elon Musk to the hearing today. Congress and the public deserve answers about why he's trying to kill the CFPB and answers about what he would gain personally if he's able to shut the agency down.
Elon Musk, needless to say, did not show up to explain himself to Senator Warren today.
No surprise, Mr. Musk is a no-show. He is too afraid to show up in person and defend his actions. He hides behind a gusher of silly tweets. But Elon, in case you're watching from your bunker or your Oval Office, it isn't too late. We're going to be here for another hour and a half. We have saved a seat for you, and we all have plenty of questions.
Senator Angela Also-Brooks of Maryland said this.
It looks like the billionaires have literally run amok. They are getting what they paid for. They are raiding our government. And what is so sinister about what they're doing is while they run amok and they are really hoping to profit from our government, then they want to leave people like Ms. McCall, who is my constituent, in a lurch. And so I know that Senator Kaine just spoke about veterans. I understand that while you were serving our country in Iraq, you came home only to find that a car you purchased you couldn't get. So just can you tell us how long it took for you to try to resolve the issue with your car?
Yes, Senator. I had retired from the Army in February 2023. And my family was moving here to Maryland. This is where we decided to purchase a home and live out our rest of our lives, ideally. And it took, from the moment I went to go ship the car in January 2024, it took a year before I had the titling for that vehicle. And the state of Maryland told me in October of 2024 that I'm legally not going to be allowed to drive it until I get that. So we were kind of panicked for about 3 months before we knew of the CFPB, and was relieved when an email online, and 8 days later they call telling me that they will do the thing that they were legally contracted to do in the first place.
So only 8 days after CFPB got involved.
Yes, Senator.
After almost a year of trying to get this resolved.
Senator Amy Klobuchar of Minnesota said this.
Just from my view, when I look at these Minnesota numbers, 15,340 complaints that have yielded relief. That's incredible. You've got 2,000 complaints from older Americans, over 3,000 from veterans. Thank you, Ms. Gillen. And dismantling this CFPB is the opposite of lowering costs, the opposite. And I hope the Trump administration understands this. Republicans claim that they're going to reduce financial burdens, yet their actions will drive up costs for consumers.
Lorelei Salas, who was forced out of her job at the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau 2 weeks ago, explained that much of the work that the agency does is invisible to the people they protect.
As the head of the Supervision Division with a staff of 550 people, we were in the business of preventing fraud and law-breaking by big banks and other financial institutions every day. Most people are unfamiliar with the work of supervision because it happens behind the scenes and is confidential. You likely will never know that we instructed your lender to give you a refund because neither the company nor the CFPB will say it publicly. But in the most recent 2 years, the supervision team advised banks and mortgage companies to refund more than $350 million that were charged in illegal junk fees to their accounts.
Lorelei Salas described a typical consumer protection case, the kind of protection Elon Musk wants to make sure that you never have again.
A woman was placed in foreclosure proceedings because she failed to notarize a form, and she didn't know why her application was denied. She had applied to a program where she could reduce her monthly payments. Was never told of the requirement and was never told she could fix it. Our staff were looking at those files and questioned the company and said, give us a reason why you denied this application, and they didn't have one.
Right.
So they had to go and fix the problem, and the woman was able to keep her home. And that is work that is happening on an ongoing basis. Well, was happening as of 2 weeks ago.
Massachusetts Attorney General Andrea Campbell explained how important the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau is to the work of state attorneys general.
While most view the Attorney General as one who only advances public safety, and of course we certainly do that, we do so much more. My #1 priority is to address the issue of affordability. And every day we work to help residents build wealth, hold companies and individuals accountable for scamming them, and work to put money back into the pockets of our constituents. We do this while working with a wide range of stakeholders, but most importantly, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Since its inception, the CFPB has returned over $20 billion to consumers. It was created to protect the homeowner struggling to pay their mortgage, the first-generation college kid who was unknowingly duped by a predatory for-profit college, the hard-working American forced to incur more and more debt, whose last pennies are being threatened by debt collectors using unscrupulous practices, and so many more.